Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dream Design Podcast. You guys, I am so excited about my guest today. And I know you're going to be like, Ailey, you say that all the time. And you're right. I do say that. But let me just tell you the extra level of gusto that I am saying it with today. Because this girl, I'm going to brag. I don't do this. This girl is so freaking talented. Okay. So full disclosure, she's my web designer, right? She's totally doing my website. But she is so talented. The things that are coming out of her, if you are in any way affiliated with Kajabi, or I don't know, maybe she does other stuff too, you need to get on her calendar. When you guys see my website, right? When you see the launch of it, you are going to be blown, not away, down the street, around the corner, over to the next town. This girl is unreal. You'll see though. Don't take my word for it. But anyway, she's here with us today, Sierra Janisse. She's amazing. You're going to want to join her group. You're going to want to be her friend. You're going to want to, kiss up to her so that she will put you on her schedule because she is absolutely amazing. I will be right back with her in just a minute. But first, our little fun intro thing. Welcome back, everyone. So during the opening, Laura, one of my good friends, just came back and said, that's real. I saw it. No, it's true. People were drooling. I was like, you guys, you need to see this one tiny piece. But anyway, she's incredible. She's here with us today. Please welcome the gorgeous, the talented, and the super duper sweet Sierra Janisse. Welcome, Sierra.
Hey, Amelie. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm tearing up with all the nice things you're saying. I appreciate you.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy. So real quick, I'm just going to tell you guys and then I'm going to let her talk. But I found Sierra because one day I was on Instagram and I saw that somebody, not her, but somebody was a Kajabi web designer specifically for Kajabi. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I didn't know that was a thing. So then I was like, okay, well, if that exists, then I want to go find one. So then I put it in the search. So it's good that you use it in your search. I put in Kajabi web designer. And here she came up and her energy just like flew off of her grid, like onto the page. Her website wasn't even live at the time. And I already knew that she was my person. So hello, sacral generator. When it's an it's an And she's like, okay, we can get on a call if you want. I'm like, no, just send me an invoice. I'm ready to do this. Like, it was amazing. But anyway, Sierra, you are incredible. I love you to pieces. I just think the world of you. But enough about that. Tell us a little bit about your journey. Tell us about so were you always a web designer? Did you start out as something else? Tell us a little bit about, the this is your life of Sierra.
Oh my goodness, this is my life. Well, as far as web design, I started designing websites on and off because way back I had this brilliant idea. Okay, it was a creative idea that I was going to be a famous travel blogger because I love to travel. Then I tried doing this and realized I didn't like the way my website looked. So I'm self-taught over the years, learning how to code and design with different website platforms. I designed websites for my friends, their businesses, some of their author sites. And then finally, like so many of us, when COVID kind of shook our world, I found myself with extra time on my hands because my 9-to-5 is teaching. And then teaching was like weirdly at home and all virtual. So I thought I want to actually do my dream that I've been dreaming about, have my own business, and took my web design from hobby, pastime to actually launching my business.
Oh my goodness. And it's going amazing, I imagine.
Oh yeah, it's so fun. I'm so glad that I did it.
I'm so glad you did too, because I definitely benefited from it. So if that was a COVID thing, then thank you, COVID, because I'm
Silver linings, right?
Yeah, silver lining for sure. So what were you teaching before? What do you teach 9-to-5? Like what grade or whatever?
Yeah, I teach public middle school. I teach middle school science. So 7th and 8th graders.
That's so cool. I didn't even know that about you. Isn't that fun? But I guess most of the time I don't know things about people that come on the show, so that's not really that big of a deal. So, oh, Laura's, like I said, she's one of my besties, and she's also in the school system. She does, I think she does Title I, I think. Yeah.
Me as well. So that's awesome, Laura. We have to connect. I love meeting
Yeah,
other
totally.
teachers that are also in the online space. Oh, Laura, you're sweet. Thank you.
Oh, right, because you can read those. I'm like, here, let me put this on there so you can see it. So, oh my gosh, I have so many things I want to ask you. Okay, so when you decided to create your freelancer, right? Is that what we call what you are? Because you're doing
Yeah,
it on this
definitely.
side. Yeah, Laura just said she is Title I. So when you decide to do that, obviously there are things that you're like, okay, this I definitely want to have in the business, and this I don't want to have in the business. So like, what are some deal breakers? What are some things that you feel like you really wanted to make sure when I do this job, you know, I want this and I definitely don't want this?
Oh, yeah. I think for me, that was actually the biggest part of learning what it was that I wanted. Because I had no idea when I started. I had no idea. Like, I knew how to design websites. So I thought I knew what I needed to know, but I didn't know about having an online business, right? And like what I want it to look like. I didn't even know what type of client at the beginning I wanted to work with. Like, now I know my happy place is working with amazing female coaches like you. But I didn't know that at the beginning. I was just kind of like, hey, who needs a website, right? So that whole process has been a journey. Now I know, having gotten to work with dream clients like you, Amy Lee, and others, that I really want my business to be one that I feel like I'm helping other women in the online space. Like, I can bring my nerdy tech knowledge, to their passion so that they can kind of explode and reach even more women online.
Yeah, and it's so crazy too. Oh, Kahea said this is me too with my freelancer business. Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy because like she'd be like, oh, I'm working on this, but I'm gonna get ready to do the SEO soon. I'm like, I didn't even know you do SEO. Like, I've never had SEO. This is so good. Like, I'm just like in awe. And it's just, it's interesting you bring up, like, when it's true, when you first start, you're like, okay, proof of concept. Like, does this even work? And at the very beginning of your business, you start by kind of taking anybody, right? If you have a pulse, I'll work with you. And then you start to get to know, okay, I want to niche down to females, or I want to niche down to female coaches, or I want to niche down to female intuitive coaches. And the more that you find that spot, now I don't happen to know your human design or anything, but I know that the more that you dig into what feels good, the more you magnetize the ideal client to you. Right. Mm-hmm. So then you're like, so for me, like, I went from like, oh, I work with empaths and highly sensitives. And then I was like, wait a second, like, I work with them, but I work with them on something. Then it was like, well, I work with them in the creative process, but what part of the creative process? And then I was like, dream design. And all of a sudden it was like, it clicked, but it took a while to get there, And that's, so my next question to you, so I call you the Kajabi magician, right? Because Kajabi is your thing. Do you do other platforms, and why is Kajabi what you specialize in?
Oh, that's a fun story, because I do other platforms, and my path to Kajabi always makes me laugh. But I do WordPress. I used to do other website things like Squarespace, Wix. So now I'm a Kajabi, WordPress, Kartra girl. Kartra is kind of like Kajabi competitor, right? So pretty much same type of thing there. I actually started on WordPress like many designers, just because it's kind of widely used, right? Especially when I was going to be
easy, and I was going to be like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Definitely not. It's one of the reasons I kind of moved over, but it's widely used. So when I was in the phase of like, I don't know what I'm doing, I was there, right? I had so many of my dream clients, those that I was like, oh, I would love to work with you. I'm so connected with what your vision is in your business, who happened to all be female coaches before I even knew that was my niche or my person I was serving. They were always like, do you do Kajabi? And I was like, I don't know how to do Kajabi. And they were like, oh, but I need someone to do Kajabi. I need someone to do Kajabi. And I said, okay, I got to learn this, because that is what my women need. And it is easier to use, which I love. And it's still customizable and awesome. There's a need for someone who can make Kajabi look just as beautiful as some of the other, popular website platforms like Show It and things like that. So it was totally my ideal client led. The woman who needed me most, I learned it because I knew I wanted to make it for her.
And it's so crazy you say that too, because Kajabi is very boxy. if you don't know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Like Kajabi is very like, okay, here's a bar and here's a bar and here's a bar. So you made that not a thing. I remember when I first looked, when you were like, oh, here, take a peek at the homepage. And I was just like, that's not mine. Like that's Oprah's page, you know, that's Marie Forleo's page. There's no way that's my website. Like there's no way. And there's no way it's on Kajabi either, because it's just so. Laura says I'm giddy. Oh, I love you, Laura. I am giddy. I'm telling you, just guys, just trust me. I got to tell you what Sheena said the other, because so Sheena's on Podia, right? That's the platform that she uses. Yeah. Do you do Podia?
I've integrated it for another client. She's kind of on not Kajabi, Podia and WordPress. So I've worked with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just so Sheena the other day was like, so do you think I could put her on layaway for like when I'm ready to have a design, like start paying her now to like book her in for that? I was like, I know, she's unreal. Like every time we look at something, we're just like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. You guys will see that too as you see the stuff. Maybe we could even give them a sneak peek at the end. I don't know how to share. There's a way to share the screen, but maybe we could do it. Sheena just said that. KS said, I used Dreamweaver in high school and built everything from scratch. That was a headache and a half. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Mm-hmm. And Sheena just goes, yes. Yeah. She's definitely a big fan for sure. And even Arwa, it's her birthday today. She's our graphic designer. She does like the Instagram and stuff like that. And even she's like, these are amazing. Like we're all just so in awe. I don't think any of my podcast episodes have been so Amy Lee centric, but this one is. So you're welcome. Okay. So when it comes to web design, because let's get into like, you know, give people something juicy. Yeah. What do you feel most people are missing on their website? Like what crucial element is missing?
Yeah. And you know what? I could talk all day about like specific things like buttons, headers, this, that, which is super important. But I say we got to take a big step back. I say there's a missing mindset piece to a website that I see in our online business space, especially. So not just coaches, but this is for if you're a service provider like me, a virtual assistant or a business manager, this piece is missing a lot when someone's doing their own website. And that is the idea that the website is telling a story, but the main character in the story is not you. The main character is your ideal client. And we know that when we think about our offers, because so many of us have come to this space from really a heartfelt passion to help other people. But when we go to our website, we kind of forget that. And we think we've just got to like list things or have features that are about us. And we forget that we need to be telling a story to our ideal client that she or he can enjoy and read and really sink into, even when we're not there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because there's whole articles written about the About Me page. The About Me isn't about you.
Exactly.
It's not about you at all. Yeah, exactly. It's really about the experience for the client and you know, for kind of what they're going to see when they come to your page. Yes, Sheena's a big fan. We're like little cheerleaders over here. Okay, so my next question is, what would you say to the people who say that websites are dead? Well, you don't need a website. Like, I feel like so many coaches are like, you don't need a website. You don't need a sales page. You don't need this. Like, what is your rebuttal to that sentiment that websites are dead, that nobody goes to them? I'd love to hear some real juicy thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, I stole this metaphor. So you ladies may have heard it before, but there's a metaphor I like to use because people always say, you know, as a coach, you don't need a website, you know, to have a successful coaching business. That is a true statement, right? Because obviously you can find coaches, you know, on Instagram or LinkedIn that do not have a website that are making 6-7 figures. So obviously it's a possibility, right? And I'd say, yeah, but here's the thing, right? If you told me that your goal was to go run a marathon, I would say, wow, I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. Tell me your plan and everything. And hey, let's go shopping. Let's make sure you have some really good running shoes so that as you're training, as you're going, you can get there better. And if you said, well, I'm actually going to go barefoot because I don't need running shoes, I would say, you could. Yeah. People run marathons barefoot and they're awesome. but it's going to help you a lot more if you have some really nice running shoes, right? Your website is a tool like that, right? If you want to reach more people, make a lot of money to support yourself and be able to expand your reach online, a website is just a tool to help you do that. And it does so very effectively. Is it like you must have it for sure? No, right? But it's going to help you so much. And so I say, hey, let's get you that help to make you explode online.
But I also think, and I only learned this from working with you, that you have to have a good website, because a bad website is as good as not having one. Like, either spend the money, get a good one, and really make it pop, and really have it be cohesive to your brand, or don't bother. Like, don't get a bad website. Like, the people that are like, oh, let me just throw up like a little Squarespace one pager. Like, it has to be something real, you know? Like, I think that that's definitely what I'm seeing. Because I feel like my website before, well, so going back, you know, I was on WordPress. You saw it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, but there was no way in heck I could ever update it or change anything or know how to do anything. And then I moved over to Kajabi, and that was better because my course stuff is over there. But it's like, you guys just wait. If you stick around on this thing, we're gonna find a way to show you something. I don't know what, but we're gonna give you a little tiny sneak peek. If you guys have questions about this too, feel free to drop them in the comments. I know, so you might not know this, Sierra. We are right now live on my personal page. We are live on both of my business pages. We are live in my group, and we're also live on YouTube.
All the places. I love it. Multitasking. But yes, questions are great. I love questions. So
yeah,
ask away.
So what do you think when it comes to designing? Like, what do you feel a person needs to have in place before they contact somebody like you? Like, where in the process should they be, or could they be brand new, or like, talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was actually talking to someone this morning about that as well. And they are, to give an example, a perfect place, to come to somebody like me where you're like, I want to get a website that's professionally designed that matches my expertise and my offers. To get to that point, you have to be super, super, super clear on like what it is that you offer. And most of us, when we start, maybe all of us, right? We aren't, right? You got to figure that out. You got to learn that. So at the beginning, I would say you want to hold off until you know for sure what it is that you offer, and you have your entire brand message and your ideal client really figured out, because then we can make that show up on a website. Now, if you're like, well, I'm not there yet, right? Don't worry, because I believe you can still, by keeping it simple, still have kind of a website that you do yourself that is still going to be effective, right? Just don't try to do too much. Don't try to like design a huge whole thing yourself, because then we run into that issue where it's going to be way overwhelming, a ton of work, and you're going to have to change it all later. So I'm okay with simplicity at first, before you get to the point of you've really nailed down what it is that you do and who you serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And for sure. And a lot of clarity also came from working with you too, for me, because you'd be like, okay, what do you want to say here? Like, this doesn't really fit. Or I would say, hey, I don't really like this. And then your magical copywriting skills would pop out, and you'd be like, well, let's change to this. And I'd be like, well, actually, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So it's definitely a full circle process, right? Like, we started kind of, you had me fill out the document of death, is what I called it. And it's
all the details.
Yeah.
All the details.
It's like 90 pages long, you guys. She's like, what stores does your brand remind you of? And I'm like, I have no clue, Sierra. Just fix it. But it's so, I will say, in hindsight, taking the time to fill that whole thing out, which at first I was going to make Sheena do, but then I was like, no, I'm going to be a big girl and put my pants on and do it myself. But honestly, she literally took what was in my head and put it on the page. And when we got on our first call together, and by the way, full disclosure, I don't get anything from her I realize I sound really affiliate right now. We don't have I don't have a kickback or anything like that. So what I'm telling you about her is genuinely just that I think she's amazing. And so anyway, when we first got together, she's like, here's, my initial thoughts. And she showed it to me, and she was waiting for me to be like, yeah, change this, change that. And I just sat there with my hand over my mouth. And I was just like almost in tears. Like, it was just so overwhelming how much she brought my vision to life. And she's like, are you sure? Because I know that you're a people pleaser like me and like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, this is it. This is so it. So needless to say, you guys, she's amazing. She's amazing. And she has incredible energy too. Does she not have incredible energy? Like, don't you just want to hang out with her? I feel like I just need to find things for her to do on the website so we can like just hang out all the time. I think
Definitely.
she is laughing.
She was laughing. Yes, no, definitely. We got to hang out because it's so much fun. You know, I love what I get to do because I get to be creative, right? I get to indulge my nerdy automation side because I love all that tech stuff. And I get to hang out with you and other amazing women who are super inspiring. I feel like just being in your space, not even your programs, right? Just like hanging out with you, doing your project, like I feel like I've just learned so much through like osmosis, you know, because you have that amazing energy. It's gotten me thinking about all sorts of great stuff. So I love that.
Wouldn't it be funny if we both terrible people, but when we're together, we bring out like the good, like, so like to each other, we're like awesome. And to the rest of the world, they're like, yeah, I don't know. She's not like that with me.
I know everyone in the chat's like, no.
Right. Okay. So you touched on for a second, and I know I'm grilling you about all the things, but you touched on automation a little bit. And I know, okay, so whenever you say the word funnel, people kind of get all glossy-eyed. They're like, what does that even mean? And I know that you must have like a Sierra sunshiny way of describing what a funnel is and why automation is important. And maybe you could even like give them like a couple examples of like what we've done that really kind of like, just, you know, explains that. Because a lot of them have been through a lot of my automation, or they've been through things that weren't automated that now are. And so I think it might be helpful for them.
Oh, yeah. And I love the way you say that. I do have a Sierra sunshiny way of explaining it because I don't believe it needs to be scary, overwhelmed thing. I'll give the little Sierra sunshiny way, but then everyone should know I do have like a free little, it's like a little master class that goes into funnel, but for female coaches specifically. So if you're like into the juicy, you know, super nerdy tech details, I do have something we could share if that would be helpful.
Yeah, let's go ahead and drop that in the comments right now while we're talking about it. What's the link for that?
Well, that's a great question, Amy. I have to figure out the link. So okay. I will figure out the link, but
okay. Take a minute and do that after, and we'll pop it in the comments.
Yeah, for sure. But a funnel really is just your journey for your ideal client. Thinking back to the story of your ideal client, it's just literally step by step. What do they do from finding you in the big online space? So that could be they find you in Facebook, they find you on Instagram, they get referred to you by a friend, and then they click. Like, what do they click to end up on your website? And then on their website, what do they read? What do they see? That's your pictures, your content. What do they click next, right? What is this, all the little steps they take to go from not knowing who you are to booking that first discovery call or that consultation, kind of whatever you want to call it. So it's a lot of steps, but if you think of it as just step-by-step journey, that's what we're talking about with your funnel.
And it's interesting too. One of the things I noticed that you did with my stuff is you put the funnel everywhere. Like it's in every peripheral vision. It's up here, it's down there. So it's like you're always leading back to that. And it's one place, guys. That's what's really important, right? Like you don't want to send people on a wild goose chase. So your funnel is sending them all. It's like, hey, there's a party over here. This is the address. And you're telling the people on Instagram to go to the party, and you're telling the people on Pinterest to go to the party, and you're telling the people on Facebook to go to the party, and everybody's getting this invitation all at that one place to go start, you know, the party together, which is the journey. So funnels don't have to be scary.
No, they don't. And it's a way of making the life of your ideal client simpler. Because a lot of times we throw a website up there or we throw different posts on Instagram and they don't know what you want them to do next, right? It all comes back to the calls to action, that sort of thing. If we have a clear path that we're thinking we want people to follow to get them to their goal, that's going to make them more comfortable in our space, our entire online space, website, social media, all of that. And they're going to be happier. They're going to get what they want. And you're going to be happy because you get to help them get what they want. It's kind of making life easier for everybody once you have it set up.
And I think it's also the responsible thing to do too, right? As a leader, as a coach, you know, to have somewhere to get them to go. So like if you go to a doctor's office and you're going to have a procedure done and you walk in and the doctor's like, you know, I can't find the form to have you, like, where is that? I think it's over there. You know what? Go to the office 3 doors down, ask that lady if she has the form. And then they're like, yeah, no, she didn't have the form. And you're like, I think it's in my desk. You know, I can't find my rubber gloves. I think they're in the other, like, you would be so put out and like, maybe I don't want you cutting me open if you don't know where your stuff is, right? So it also creates like a level of confidence and authority for a leader when you know where you're sending people. When you have that automation, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, this girl knows what she's doing. Oh, excellent. We have a link. Okay.
We have a link.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I would
guys,
totally.
Oh, go ahead. You tell them. I'm like over talking. Go ahead. Tell them what.
No, that's it. I was going to say yes. Everything Amy Lee said, yes. And that link will go to the Secrets of a Money Making Coaching website workshop. So it talks about client journey funnel, but specifically for coaches, which can be kind of an interesting thing because like you're not selling a thing, right? You don't have a shop of like t-shirts. So it's a different sort of mindset we got to get into for giving that value, which is fun to think about because you know the transformation and the value you provide your client. It's just making that show up on your website.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm sure that hold on, so many S's here. Sheena will grab this and dump it in the chat in the comments for the actual audience. So let me just leave that in long enough for her to take a screenshot, and then we'll continue. So if you guys have questions for Sierra, feel free to ask them. Like I said, I know lots of you guys are out there watching all over the place. And of course, feel free to drop your comments after the fact. She's in the group too. So if you have questions, if you're like cheating on your web designer and you like want to ask questions and not do it publicly, you can totally do it in the group. So your web designer doesn't see it. Hopefully your web designer isn't in the group because that would be awkward. But you know what? We're all adults. Let's put on our big girl pants. And if you're not at Sierra's level, then somebody might go and work with her instead of you. Sorry.
I also love, DMs. Like, I think that's how we connected. You had a question for me specifically about like a piece of your funnel, right? Which is like my favorite thing to talk about. So if you're like, hey, Sierra, this question or this page, like send me your links, right? I just want to chat about it. We can talk about your funnel, your website, and get the conversation going. It's fun.
She really is, Mikey. She's amazing. She is so freaking talented. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You just redesigned. I went in the other day and I'm like, Sheena, she redesigned the email nurture. Like she like the emails are pretty now. Like we were just she didn't get the whole address. Okay, hold on, Sheena.
Do you want me to message Sheena? I can just DM her.
Yeah. You guys should be besties anyway, because she's besties with you. You should be besties with her.
I think we're all connected, so I'll just message you, Sheena.
Okay, perfect. And then she'll throw it in the comments. But yes, Mikey, she's amazing. So if you are a Kajabi person, you need. Well, if you're anybody, right? As long as you don't not have a website and don't want a website, you can work with Sierra. So that being said, let's talk about her group. She has an awesome group. She's going to tell us about it.
Oh, yes. If you love Facebook groups and I want to hang out with you in my Facebook group, it's really, 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 it's just a whole lot of fun, right? I'll tell you guys the behind the scenes, right? I didn't start my Facebook group right away in business because I was like, oh my gosh, that'd be like one more thing I have to like do, right? It's my favorite part. It's my favorite part of like my whole online community because the ladies in that group and a couple gentlemen are the most fun to talk to with Side Hustle to Sold Out Facebook community, mostly women in there, female coaches, but we welcome everybody, whether you're a guy, girl, anything in between, whether you're a coach or not. We got some service providers like me in there, and we have a lot of fun sharing helpful tips. I have private lives that are just in that group where we talk more tech detail training type things. We have promo parties all weekend where we share our stuff and comment and give each other feedback to help with our website page designs. If you're in the DIY stage, it's a lot of fun. So I'd love to see you in there.
I love that. Is she no, not yet, but she will be. I'm working on that right now, actually. I told Sherry, I'm like, you need to get her. She's amazing. But yes, she will be Sherry's Kajabi person. Trust. I'm working on that. What was I going to say? But yes, Mikey, he's amazing. He's a coach and he's connected to like all the people in Hollywood and he dresses really sharp. Like you should see the clothes that this guy's wears. They're unreal. The blazers that he has, I'm super jealous of his wardrobe. And I think he's in California too. So maybe you guys could even like have.
Oh yeah, I'm in Sacramento area. That's awesome.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. I mean, I just know California. I'm like, it looks like this. It's long. It kind of like
West Coast.
Yeah.
Over here. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's like dark 30 there right now, right? Anyway, okay, so there's that. And then we've also got your website is now up, right?
Yes, it's still work in progress, but something's there now if you head to there. The work in progress is there.
And I didn't mention this before, but I just want to point out to them, just because we're talking about, I love that. Yes, Kajabi, like a Kajabi expert. That in addition to these two things that she does, right? Teacher by day, web designer by night. She's also an author. And so she writes. So that's another reason why she's such a good copywriter too, because she's just like, she's amazing. I'm telling you guys. Oh, Mikey said, I do a celebrity event there for Cancer Yearly.
Oh, awesome, Mikey. That's cool.
That's so cool. Yeah, he's a really awesome person. I know. Okay, so you guys know all the ways to get a hold of her. You know how to find her. Do you want to try and share your screen and see does it let you if we do that?
I think so. Okay. What would you like us to share, Amy?
What do you usually share?
Well, we'll definitely be sharing more coming soon graphics on your Instagram and in the group a little later. For now, do you want to?
You decide.
Okay. We'll take a look at the home page just for fun.
Okay.
We'll do a scroll through. Let's see if this works.
It
should be good.
I think you have to pull that up, or do I? Oh, I do. Okay.
Okay, cool. Can we see the screen now?
Hold on one second. Is that better?
Oh, there we go.
Eek.
Yay! We have your fabulous new brand photos as well, which I'm super excited about.
Yes, those were Pitter. I got Pitterized, so that was super exciting. And also, my friend here did some of my pictures as well, my friend Trisha. So it's like a smorgasbord of like all different kinds of things. But yeah, she killed it, you guys. I mean, the branding, the colors, the rainbow that I love. And oh yeah, the glasses are my signature, Mikey. They're like part of me. I'm gonna be buried with those things. Yeah, she really crushed it. I mean, yeah, it's unreal. It really is. And then you want to just real quick, you want to show them the book page, because I feel like the book page has so much color and brightness. And oh, you know what? Actually, what about the library page? Can you show them the library page?
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me make sure I'm logged in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so when you're part of Amy's courses, those of you in one of Amy's master classes or workshops right now, you'll get to actually see inside there.
Yeah, because some of it's already transferred over. So if you're like, oh my gosh, this can't be the right place because it's too beautiful, it is.
And your book, Amy Lee, is available now, right? That's what I was looking at.
I think that we're setting the launch date for August 3rd because we have to get them made. I just got my proof.
Okay.
Sorry, is it being annoying? I don't want to make everybody wait. But I just want you guys to see the level of like mastery that goes into what she like does.
Oops. I can't find the colors inside me book page yet. I can look it up if you want me to.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We showed them some stuff. Definitely. It's unreal. Like, I didn't think I'd be that excited about a website, but like, I just want to stare at it all day. And that one page that, actually, wait, maybe it'll let me, hold on. Let me just see if I can get to it real quick, because if I can, I already had it pulled up because I'm so obsessed with it. Yeah, hold on. I want to show you guys this. Is it this one? Share screen, window, Chrome tab. This one. You like this? Oh, here we go. Look at this. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's like unreal. I mean, she just absolutely crushed it. It's so good. I'm
That's
obsessed.
so much fun.
I know, totally. So anyway, that is what she's been doing for me, like night, day, everything else. I'm sure she has other clients. She doesn't sleep either because I'm up like super early our time and she's already awake. Like she did that. She did all that. Mikey, she did that. That's how amazing she is. Seriously. Okay. But enough about Sierra. I feel like we've talked about her a lot. So anything else that you feel like you want to share with the folks here in the audience? Anything else about websites? Anything else that you want to leave them with? Love to hear it.
I would say really wherever you are with your business, whether you already have a website you love, whether you don't have any website, if you have a website you're kind of thinking of ditching because it doesn't make you happy, right? Don't let it overwhelm and stress you out. There's so many different messages out there when it comes to websites and messaging. Like you got to do it this way or you're not going to make any money, or you got to do it this way or you're not going to be able to serve anybody. And I think that's just the wrong approach because there are so many different right answers, right? Your website style might be bright and bold and beautiful like Amy Lee's. Your website style might be cool and classic and like minimalist, right? And that's good too. You might be on a different website platform or this thing or that thing. And you can succeed and make money and help your people with all those different options. So don't let all the different things stress you out, right?
Absolutely. Great advice. Yes, for sure. And I love that, Mikey. I feel like it is too. I feel like it's very, you know what it is? It's all the colors. So it allows people to come in and design their own dream, right? It's like when you go to a house and you're buying a house and you or you're selling your house and you stage it a certain way, right? So that it like you take all your pictures down and you move all the stuffed animals so people can imagine themselves in it. I think that definitely, I think that that's kind of what she does. You know, she takes that and makes it so that when you're, again, because it's about them, when they come in, they feel like they can make it their own, you know, so all the colors are there so they can say, well, I want the purple and I want the blue. And they actually zone in on those colors. And then my website becomes exactly what they want it to see, want to see. So Mikey's asking about prices. You guys should definitely DM about that. I know she has different packages depending on what you've already got done, depending on kind of where you are in the process. She has like a spectrum. So it's probably kind of more of a thing that you need to get with her. But I will say it's probably not what you think it is. I will say that. Now it will be once we get off of this live. I'm sure that she's going to have DMs up the yin yang. But for right now, just trust me. Reach out. You might not be disappointed. In fact, I'm getting off of here and texting Sherry Gideons and being like, let's do this, kid. So that being said, Sierra, it has been such a pleasure having you on the show. And she's in my group, you guys. She's in Dream Building Entrepreneurs. If you're not already in there, you can find it by going to www.facebook.com/groups/unstoppable dreaming. So you can hop in there and she's there. She'll be there all day today answering questions for you if you're cheating on your web designer. And she's just a fun person. So definitely join her group, join my group, all the things. Sierra, you are amazing. Giving you the giantest virtual hug.
I know, big virtual hugs.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So that'll do it for the podcast for this week. It was a little bit cray, I know, because I'm telling you, when I am behind something, I am behind it all the way. And Sierra Janisse and her Kajabi magicianship is something that I am behind. So make sure that you get all of her juicy links. I don't usually do this either, but go ahead and get in there, get to know her. She is amazing. Until next week, when we have another phenomenal guest, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, and may you be at peace. Namaste.